newscast.
It's feeling more like April than February with near record warm temperatures this weekend. We'll be right around 80 degrees, and then next week I am forecasting a bit of a cool down, but overall still above average. I'll have all those details on the temperatures and our rain chances coming up. Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, a boil water advisory in Washington County, what led to it and how long it will last. Also ahead, this is Hurricane Assistance Deadline Day in Augusta. A look at the next steps for debris cleanup. The next phase of the downtown Augusta Road project is about to get started. We'll have a live look as your news at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins in Wilkes County, where the city of Washington is under a 24-hour boil water advisory. That's after an extensive water leak happened this morning off Highway 44 on Greensboro Road. City officials say the water leak was caused by an old hydrant that broke close to 4 o'clock this morning. Mayor Bruce Bailey says work crews were able to fix the lines within 45 minutes of the first phone call. Now, just to be safe, city leaders have decided to issue a boil water advisory that will be in effect for the next 24 hours.
We've got somewhere roughly 100 plus miles of pipes, both sewer and water, so these are old pipes, and we're working diligently to upgrade our infrastructure and make sure our systems are up. So it's just going to take time, and little incidences like this are going to occur. So,
because the water levels are low, they are encouraging residents to conserve water until it's at a more stable level. A critical deadline has passed for Augusta, and it could prove costly. The city has been picking up Hurricane Helene debris since early October, and until this week, FEMA was covering all the costs. But right now, that's no longer the case. George Escala has the story.
There's still storm damage for Augusta to pick up, and now for the city, the cost is going up.
Augusta didn't budget, neither did any other community, based on the sheer devastation from Hurricane Helene. The 120-day, 100% reimbursement has ended.
The city knew that this week FEMA would no longer pay 100% of the cleanup costs. So as the effort continues, there's a new reimbursement formula where the feds will now pay only 75%.
Part of that, 25% will be reimbursed by the state as well. So we're probably about 12.5% to 15% right now that'll come out of the city's coffers.
While FEMA still pays the lion's share and their state help, the city is now facing paying 15 cents on the dollar for this massive cleanup operation. What's the price per day?
Well, I mean, at the height, we were probably about $500,000 a day. Back then, we're probably about $300,000 a day.
The potential for millions of dollars in cleanup costs has the city pushing efforts to keep the 100% reimbursement in place.
We're hopeful that both our senators in the state of Georgia, as well as the governor, has requested an additional 30-day extension. We're waiting word on that, but nevertheless, we're continuing to work to clean up our community.
The city is trying to complete cleanup after Helene, while hoping the feds continue to cover the cost. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
And it's time now for a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci. And Jenna, it was another nice day.
Yeah, warm weather sticks around, Dee. No changes as we head into the weekend. If anything, it's getting even warmer. So right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, a mild night for us, and it is mostly cloudy out there. We actually picked up on just under 1/10 of an inch of rain, and we had a morning low temperature that is 10 degrees above our average. So 47 this morning, and then climbed by 30 degrees in the afternoon. Made it to a high of 77 degrees. Notice the record set back in 1927 of 80, so we were just a few degrees shy of it. The temperature change map is showing places anywhere from 3 to 12 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So that wedge setup we were in yesterday, that is no more. Temperatures are on the rise across the entire area. Mid-60s through low 70s at this hour. 70 in Allendale, 66 in Evans. Millen and Bamberg also at 70 degrees. Aiken, you're at 65. 71 in Wrightsville is about as warm as it gets today, and 70 in Waynesboro, 67 in Sparta. But early
earlier today, a lot of us were in those upper 70s. Now, the dew points are pretty high. We're seeing those low 60s, so a little bit muggy with those winds coming in from the southwest. We had breezy conditions today with gusts up to around 25 miles per hour. Now the winds are only gusting up to around 15, so the winds have settled down once the sun set, and you can see we have a few sprinkles coming through Johnson and Emmanuel County, but other than that, it is dry. Most of the two-state looking the same, and then we have this cold front up to the north of us, and that's actually producing severe thunderstorm warnings and even a tornado warning in Tennessee. Now, for us, we don't have any threat of severe weather, but we could see some isolated showers tomorrow, and that continues into the weekend as well. So tomorrow morning will be right around 60 degrees. We're topping off in the upper 70s once again tomorrow, and then I'm forecasting 80 for both our Saturday and Sunday. But how long will this warm weather last? I'll have a look at next week's forecast coming up. But back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. Happening now, a road construction project meeting in Augusta. Take a live look now at the meeting at the municipal building. Renderings of the downtown Augusta project are being presented to the public. The meeting is going on until 8 tonight. Well, Georgia lawmakers are pushing new statewide school safety measures that include safe gun storage. The bill creates a statewide student database requiring schools to provide an anonymous reporting app for students and create a tax credit for gun owners that purchase safe storage devices, trigger locks, and gun safety courses. It, however, does not include any new requirements for current gun owners. But Democrats want it to be law and not just a suggestion.
Really what the goal is, as with car seat laws, as with DUI laws, is to create a culture and expectation of safety, right? We want to prevent people from doing these irresponsible things in the first place.
14 gun bills have already been introduced during this legislative session. Lawmakers say this particular school safety bill is a priority. Well, South Carolina lawmakers are discussing a bill to pass a hands-free driving law similar to the one in Georgia. Caroline Yaffa has more.
The South Carolina Hands-Free Act would make drivers who hold their mobile devices behind the wheel face consequences.
We all are common sense people. We know what we're talking about. We have a handheld phone here. As long as this isn't here and you're doing this isn't here, and this is here, you should be okay.
A driver who injures or kills someone while holding a phone would be charged with a felony and face up to 5 years in prison and a fine up to $5,000.
The problem is that cell phones isn't a right when you're hurting somebody. If you don't have your seatbelt on or not, that's not going to kill me. But if you're literally on your cell phone going 60 miles an hour next to me and you run me off the road, I probably won't survive.
CEO of South Carolina Trucking Association, Rick Todd, says lawmakers are concerned if they don't pass this for commercial vehicles, the state is at risk to lose their federal highway funds.
We do need to get into to the act. Most states have done this. Truck drivers will tell you that that's their biggest concern. This is the biggest concern. This is striking car drivers.
Representative Joe White says lawmakers need to focus on other things, like enforcing current public safety laws, education, and infrastructure.
We got the worst roads in the nation, and we haven't done anything about it for the last 20 years. I think we should be concentrating on the things that are really bad for South Carolina. Our roads are bad, our schools are bad, and like I say, the judicial system that we currently have in place does not seem to be as effective as I think it should be.
A provision in the bill would allow drivers to wear earpieces, use devices worn on their wrists, or have voice-based communication. In Columbia, I'm Caroline Yaffa.
Coming up, a different strain of bird flu detected in cattle for the first time. This is egg prices skyrocket across the country. We'll have the latest after this break.
Hey there, Georgia. Tonight at 7:30 on News Channel 6.
Federal regulators say a different strain of bird flu has been detected in dairy cattle for the first time. The strain had been primarily spreading amongst birds until now, and this discovery comes as the virus drives up egg prices. Rena Roard reports.
The Department of Agriculture making a disturbing discovery on a Nevada cattle farm, finding a different strain of bird flu in dairy cows.
That is a concern because it shows that there's persistent risk of bird flu in cows and to the people that work closely with them.
It's the first time this strain, known as D1.1, has been found in cattle, but officials say it's the same one that killed a Louisiana man in January. Authorities say he was over 65 years old with underlying health conditions and exposed to the virus through contact with domesticated birds in a backyard. While other severe human cases have been associated with this strain, scientists are still working to understand how the various types may impact animal and human infections. Experts have warned that as the virus spreads among animals, the likelihood of more cases in humans increases. But the CDC says the risk to the general public remains low and that there's no evidence of human-to-human spread. Egg prices now skyrocketing across the country, the bird flu outbreak forcing poultry farms to cut their egg supply, causing shortages at the grocery store. Why am I paying $7.99 for a dozen eggs? $14.99 for eggs? Some mom and pop restaurants and bakeries feeling it too.
It's ruining my bottom line. There is no bottom line. The bottom fell out of my bottom line right now.
In Pennsylvania, 100,000 eggs worth $40,000 stolen from an organic farm. Investigators saying with the extreme increased price of eggs, someone may have thought they could sell them.
And when you go out for brunch, you may start noticing higher prices for eggs on the menu as well. Waffle House has already added a 50-cent surcharge per egg, and we could see more restaurants follow suit, with the Agriculture Department expecting egg prices to go up another 20% this year. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We will be near 80 degrees the rest of this week with isolated rain chances. Then the rain chances increase next week as the temperatures decrease a bit. I'll have that full Viper 6 forecast after this break.
To get the weather, you need to see the whole picture. That's why Live Viper 6 gives you the Skyview network. Get a live view of traffic and weather from all over the CSRA. Available online 24 hours a day at WJBF.com and the free Live Viper 6 mobile app. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview network, powered by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service.
Something about the morning makes you feel good now. You know that I love you. Good morning, Augusta.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. Yesterday, I went up to Evans and visited Sales School for Arts Infused Learning and spoke with this awesome group of 4th grade students. I had so much fun teaching them all about meteorology and what my job is like here at WJBF. And this was actually my 2nd year in a row visiting Sale, and I can't wait to come again next year. So thank you so much for having me. Right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, it's a mostly cloudy night and pretty mild. We're sitting at 66 degrees with those overcast skies, a southwest wind coming in light at just 3 miles per hour. Dew point is 60, visibility is good, and around the CSRA, we're sitting anywhere from around 65 to 73 degrees. So definitely a bit cooler towards the north today, warmer down towards the south, but all of us will warm up as we go into the weekend. So our satellite and radar is just showing a little bit of cloud cover and some areas of drizzle across our area into Alabama, a big batch of rain and thunderstorms along this cold front up near the Tennessee Valley. Now for us, we're going to continue to see that spring-like setup as we head into our Friday and the weekend, with the subtropical jet stream to our north and the polar jet stream as well, way to our north. So it's still feeling like winter for around half the country, but here in the south it is very warm. In fact, near record-breaking warm temperatures. Tomorrow we'll be in the upper 70s by the afternoon, and we're starting out the morning around 60 degrees. Saturday and Sunday going with a high of 80, so a perfect weekend for any outdoor plans. And you can see it is getting very close to those record high temperatures of 81 for both Saturday and Sunday. So I do think it's possible we could even end up tying that record. And next week we'll see a little bit of a cool down, but overall it is still going to be pretty warm even into that second week of February. So here's our feature cast tonight at 10 o'clock. Winds still coming in from the southwest with the clouds persisting overnight through tomorrow morning. We'll have the stalled frontal boundary near the area on Friday. That will allow for a little bit of lift, which could lead to some isolated shower, maybe a brief storm developing. But notice we're really not seeing much green here on our feature cast. There's a lot of dry air that these fronts will have to overcome. So if we do have rain, it will be very brief. Don't let it stop you from any outdoor plans this weekend. You can see by Saturday night we'll have another cold front approaching us, but still staying mostly dry. So I'm keeping that chance of rain at just 20% over the next 3 days. Then the rain chances do go up quite a bit as
as we head into next week. And notice the potential rainfall over the next week is very significant across Tennessee, with some places getting up to around 5 inches of rain. For us, we're just on the cusp of it, so it's possible that if that rain moves a little bit further down towards the south, we could be talking 2, maybe 3 inches for our area. But as of now, expecting most of that rain to be pretty light next week. And naturally, with the rain and the clouds, temperatures will be cooler, but not as cool as what was initially anticipated. So notice our average high of 62. We're still expected to stay well above that, mid-60s at the lowest, and then even up into the low to mid-70s by the end of next week. Highs tomorrow will be well above our average of 62, upper 70s in the forecast. Lows tonight will also be well above our average of 37 by a whole 20 degrees. That 10-day forecast showing the cloud cover taking over early next week with the rain chances on the rise. You can see it will be a warm Valentine's Day, overall pretty comfortable with a high of 70 and still that 40% chance of rain. Next weekend will be a little bit cooler in the upper 60s, but still no big cool down headed our way anytime soon.
All right, thanks so much. Can't wait to see what the rest of February offers.
I know, it could still change.
Yes, starting off nice. Well, still ahead, we're celebrating Black Excellence 365, a local man's battle with a life-changing diagnosis. How Tyler Taylor turned it into a powerful message after the break.
Come see the Black Excellence. The Needs Report, Mondays at 12:30 on News Channel 6. The Coffee Club on News Channel 6, sponsored by Honda Cars of Aiken. The News Channel 6 mobile app is now even better. Download it today.
WJBF News Channel 6's Black Excellence 365 recognizes inspiring Black individuals and organizations in the CSRA throughout the year. Recipients are honored with the Mary L. Jones Black Affirmation Award. This month, we honor Tyler Taylor, his Sean Kevstock.
I grew up always wanting to be in the NBA. Tyler Taylor spent his childhood shooting hoops in his Warrenton, Georgia yard, looking up to NBA legend Ray Allen. But at 16, his world shifted. One morning he woke up and something wasn't right. And I noticed that the sole of my feet and the palm of my hands were becoming numb. And it was just like an insatiable pain. So I'm thinking, I go to the doctor, I get checked out. Hey, they'll be able to fix the issue, but it was the complete opposite. Doctors at Wellstar MCG found a tumor in his spine. Surgery was the only option, but bouncing back, that was the real challenge. Couldn't walk at all. I was confused, the therapist was confused, and the neurosurgeon said, well, whenever we do surgery in your neck, surgery take place in your neck, it mess with your motor skills, it mess with your nerves. Months of therapy followed. Tyler had to relearn everything, walking, eating, even recognizing his own body. I was an infant all over again, where I didn't know when I need to urinate and defecate. I couldn't tell where my arms were, without opening my eyes. But he refused to let setbacks define him. Basketball was still on his mind, and a hospital worker's words gave him hope. He said, you'll be back soon. You'll be able to give me your tape. I know a few scouts. So in my mind, oh yeah, I'll only be here in a week. I was imagining myself playing basketball. These days, Tyler shares his story to lift up young people facing their own struggles. He's out at youth events, showing them what resilience really looks like. A lot of people are just, even people that aren't experiencing physical challenges or disabilities, they're just saying, man, I had a really hard day, but I see that you're still pushing, you're still going, you're still grinding, and it's giving me the confidence to go into work habits. See, I start off with stretching to lose. Now 30, he shares workout videos to maintain strength after surgery. He wrote Miracle Journey to Greatness, and he's working on a series to break the stigma around physical challenges. For 30 nights straight, I wrote a poem and ended up creating a book. I made the cover, published it, hired an editor, and from there, I published it to Amazon. Taylor pursued degrees in both psychology and cybersecurity. He views his journey as proof that perseverance and education can lead to schools and beyond. I just want to inspire the people and let them know that they can do all things and continue to trust in God and believe that great things are possible, and you'll see what happens in the end. For his resilience and determination, turning challenges into motivation for others, Tyler receives this month's Black Affirmation Award.
Way to go, Tyler. Such an inspiration. And if you would like to nominate someone for the Mary L. Jones Black Affirmation Award, just go to our website, WJBF.com. We'll be right back. Gen Z has a hard time sleeping in silence. A new study found that 38% of people rely on white noise or some kind of sound to fall asleep. I'm one of them, actually, and I'm not even. Yeah. Gen Z had the highest percentage. Nearly half of younger people need some kind of sound to make them fall asleep. Experts say Gen Z is so immersed in a digital environment where silence is a rarity. White noise takes away background sounds that can be disruptive. I know for younger people, I mean, I used to have a little white noise lamp for my son, so he always needed that noise to soothe him. But I have to watch TV to go to sleep.
Really?
Every night I have the TV
Yeah,
on. I know
used
it's
to be
bad.
like that.
Yeah, I know that's bad.
Yeah, I love the sound as well. I grew up with it, the white noise, but I recently discovered brown noise,
Yeah,
which is a
brown
little
noise.
bit better. I mean, there's pink noise, like orange noise. They've
I
got all
love
the
rain,
colors.
honestly. To be truthful,
Okay.
I love the sound of rain, and I'll put it on my phone sometimes just to fall asleep.
You would think I would like the sound of rain.
Yeah, that's probably work related for you. You're like, no,
Right.
I don't want that.
I know. It keeps me up instead of helping me fall asleep. Well, we're going to have some rain chances next week, Dee, but in the meantime, beautiful sunshine into the weekend.
Enjoy. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks so much for joining us. Entertainment Tonight is next. Have a great night.
A brand new product developed for roof savers claims to be able to strengthen your roof shingles, adding up to 17 years to its lifespan. It's called Renew It 17 with Rock Lock technology, and we put it to the test in a physics lab.
3, 2, 1.
Those little rocks you see flying are called granules. Over time, more of those disappear, and the weaker your shingle becomes.
So it gets more brittle, the granules, they don't adhere as much.
That's where Renew It 17 with Rock Lock technology comes in. Check out the difference in these two roofs, both 14 years old.
Can you hear that difference?
Right.
Versus...
Dr. Robert Johnson, a physicist with a doctorate from Oxford, is using a test for shingles trusted by the Underwriters Laboratory.
That requires dropping a steel ball from a distance of 20 feet above our sample material.
And it has to pass that test 6 times.
When the ball impacts, it hits here. What we look for is on the backside, are there any tears?
Tears mean water can damage the wood underneath. It's completely dry. The testing even exceeded the developers' expectations. Unlike other companies that offer 5 to 15-year warranties with multiple treatments, Roof Savers offers a 17-year warranty with just 1 application and 1 treatment. For more information, call Roof Savers or visit myroofsavers.com.